All right.
Thank you all so much for coming. So much.
Yeah.
I know it's ugly outside, but
Yeah, you guys braved it. Is it mostly actors in here, or is it all kind of everybody? Okay, great. We have some questions. Later, we'll ask some questions of y'all. Some of your questions came in.
And
we'll
thank you
skip
to
this.
Don Cheadle for coming. No.
The check cleared, so I had to be here. Okay, let's start off like this, because I don't know if I ever knew this, and I want to know too. What had influenced your choice to pursue this as a career? Like, did you always know, or were you doing other things? Then you went, wait a minute, let me see what's up with this acting.
I didn't always know. People probably know this. My father died of a stroke. And I had a friend who was like, you can make some extra money doing commercials. And I was like, oh, I'll try. And then I was like, I didn't get one call back. I mean, I was awful. And then I was like, oh, it's actually something you have to study. And so I finished grad school for journalism.
Clap for journalism, I'm sure.
And what it used to be. And then afterwards, I decided to go to school to study acting. And I did a couple years at Meisner, Sanford Meisner.
Oh, just drop a name.
No, it wasn't Sanford Meisner. It was Meisner.
It was Jim Meisner.
But it was at Bill. It was Michael Meisner. It was at Bill Esper Studios, who taught Meisner.
Oh, y'all know that. Is that out here? Or?
That is in New York.
In New York.
Did
Great.
anybody else study Meisner there?
Boom. Yeah, we'll get a question.
Did you love it?
Later.
I loved it too.
I never studied Meisner. I wanted to.
What'd you study?
I went to Cal Arts, and we kind of were method more, and we were a lot about script analysis, and we did a lot of stuff, and it was very conservatory. And Meisner was one of the techniques that we touched on, but we never really got as deep into it as other actors that I hear like swear by it.
Mm-hmm.
But something to learn. I can still learn. That's great. And how
this one's already like.
What?
Already brilliant. Talking
about stop it. We're not here. We're not doing that.
He's modest.
Listen.
He is always modest.
Let's get through these like questions that you told me I had to ask.
But you told I did, and I'm gonna act like I haven't heard them. Okay.
Yeah, that's what this is about. So Regina, how did you, and I imagine that you guys want to know, and we all have these unique stories, like how did you get your first agent, your first manager, doing that representation dance? How did that work?
My first agent, I called and he told me to come in. I was making calls. So this is a while ago. I started when I was about 6 years old. So this was about 20 something years ago. Make me 33 now. That sounds about right. But back then, you had to mail in headshots. There was no email. And so I was mailing headshots everywhere. And then someone said, you should put glitter in the envelope. And then...
when you talk about mail-in and glitter, you just blew up your math like crazy.
When I was 6, I had a lot of glitter. Yeah. No. And so, but one day I called an agency it's not in business anymore. It was called J. Michael Bloom.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me see if I can get an appointment. And the agent said I could come in because he thought I was someone else. And when I got there, he was like, wait, I thought you were probably Regina King.
Yeah, definitely it was Regina King. No doubt.
She was working back then. And he was like, I thought you were someone else. And he just agreed to... They used to do something back then called hip pocketing. Do you remember hip pocket?
No, I don't remember. Being a pocket client. That's what we.
Yes, a pocket client where you don't have to be signed across the board, but they're
not necessarily taking a commission.
Right.
They're just like getting you out there.
Yes. And they hip pocketed me, and that's how I started. And then he was like, maybe you should study Meisner. His name was Mickey Shera. He said, innovative, great guy.
What was the first gig? What was your first job? What did you get Taft-Hartley for?
Commercials or like a legit job?
You
a McDonald's commercial.
A legit job.
A legit. Oh, okay. Well, I had this is how you know back then. It was a show called Loving, a soap opera. And I had a 3-episode arc where I go and pretend to be this man's daughter and someone's paid me, a con artist. First of all, he was white. Now, I don't know who cast me.
There was they didn't do the backstory.
No.
They just dropped you right in.
And I guess he had a thing, and I was like, nah, if I was him, I'd have been suspicious upon sight.
Wait a minute, something's going on here.
Off.
Now I'm sure we can find those episodes. I want to go back and see that now.
I was supposed to be like, like when someone's like, they're supposed to be like, you see that they're like shicey, suspicious, and I thought chewing gum hard did it.
Sure.
I was like,
that's one of the things. Yeah, they taught us that at CalArts. Yeah. It was under the prop part of the thing, which is funny dovetail for the next question, because then it's not like, is a project right for you at all? You're like, I'm doing that one, and I'm just trying to parlay and get the next one and get the next one. When you felt like you were at a place where you're getting more than one look at one thing and you're being a little more circumspect, a little more picky, what makes you say yeah?
that's way in, right?
Well, hey, wherever it is. I mean, it's your sixth question, so that's on you where I ask it. But you can tell me where it was in your career.
It's funny you should ask that. That's a very good question, Don. I think I did you know what? I was not picky, but of course I was picky. I think after Best Man, which was my first job, in that I was like, I'm not going to play any more stripper roles. But also important to note, I was never asked again to play one.
So the timing was perfect.
Yes, I had made a decision, and it was made for me simultaneously.
But you had done the scary movies before that, right? That was after Best Man.
So Best Man was my very first job, and I was like, I bet I'm gonna get typecast as a stripper. And then I got offended after. I was like, I'm not that bad. Like somebody should ask me to strip again once, but no, they didn't. No one did, and so I had that part. But I remember thinking, oh, well, and then then it was Love and Basketball, and then it was Scary Movie. That was my third one.
But did it make you think? Were you agnostic about comedy, drama? Like,
no,
you were like, I'll do whatever, right?
Yeah, because I loved whatever. They weren't really different to me.
Right, it's all acting.
It's all acting.
But did you feel like, oh, this is what have you found harder? What is more difficult for you to do? What requires more Regina chops? Do you think?
They both require just as much preparation for me, honestly. So Don and I did Black Monday, and so I had met Don. Well, we didn't meet. Don was walking out with Bridget and waved, and said, I want to work with you. Maybe that was it. It was at the
ABFF?
ABFF.
Stalker.
It's my assistant, so I know it made it seem like I had a really diligent fan, but it's Kiara. But it was at ABFF. And
wait, just to interrupt, you told the story that when your agent called and said, I wanted to tell the story.
So we had met years ago. So this is years later, and my agent said, did Don Cheadle call you? And I said, Don Cheadle. Now anyone who knows me knows I'm a huge Don Cheadle fan. So like, even if he whatever, I was a huge Don Cheadle fan. Like, had watched pretty much everything he did and always was like, he's so good. Like, so he was like an acting crush. Like, who is the best to me, right? So it was Don Cheadle, and at that time I had seen you in Devil in a Blue Dress. I'd say, what if I was like Devil Wears Prada? But no.
Yeah. I did a 3-episode arc. And
but that was, I think, the first time I had actually ever seen you. I had ever seen Don Cheadle was at that event. I did, and I was like, oh, it's Don Cheadle. So he said, Don Cheadle called. Did he call you? And I was like, no. And then I said, no, he never called me. And he's like, really? He called and asked for your number. And I was like, he probably meant Regina King. Because Regina King and I were at the same agency. So I was like, I didn't think anything of it. And then I did get a text or a call. And Don was doing a project. And he's like, I want you to read it. I don't know if I ever told you this. So I read the project. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. But I am saying yes because it's Don Cheadle. So I say yes to the project. I show up. It's the first day. I had met with David and them. Don is like, so Don works, it's like a master class watching him work. So we're in there and he's like, all right, so in this scene, I don't even know what it was because I remember I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I knew I was off book. I knew who I thought Don was, but I didn't.
The character Don that she plays in it, not Don.
Yes, Don. And I was like, okay. But then I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't know what I'm doing. So we're in the van going over, and Don looks at me and goes, so what do you, he said something, and I was like, And I was like, yeah, I remember I was just making it up. So we get on set, and didn't know. We get on set, and I want to say it was you. It was your coverage of the speech you do coming into Georgina.
To the office, yeah.
Dean's. And so I was like, I just gotta watch Don. If I study Don, I will know what I will understand. And he did a monologue, and you were there. He did a monologue that was so good, but I understood. I understood the show. In that moment, I understood the show. Up until then, I was like, well, I could tank it, but it's a pilot. They can just recast.
I didn't know either, really.
Really?
I mean, no. And that's why it was so great to come, like I was telling them at the intro, to be on the set with you. Because, sometimes we've all been in scenes, you throw a ball to the actor and it's like... I was like... hey, catch this. And you were like, no, catch this. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Hold it. She was like, yeah, what do you got with this? So immediately we just started playing. And it's funny because, David and Jordan, to their credit, were just like, handle it. Do you mind throwing a little bit of this in? And so it was just really just a fertile playground. And that's why I asked you about the drama and the comedy aspect of it, because I feel a similar way that I think they both require a lot. I think comedy is a little harder, but that it's always great having someone like you who's adept at either one, and we could turn the faucet off and go either way. Really, I think everybody in that cast was able to really.
We got lucky because Andrew Reynolds, Paul Scheer, everyone. I mean, June, any guest star, it was so great. But I remember learning so much, and it was. And that show took a turn easily from drama to comedy. And there was one day, it was Beyonce concert. I'll never forget. My friends are like, we got tickets. We're going to see Beyonce. And it was the day before I had a big scene with Don in the department store. Mm-hmm. And maybe a couple of hours before they were leaving, I said, I can't go. I can't show up my first day at work with Don Cheadle, and I got Beyonce tunes in my head, and I'm not off book. And I was like, you don't understand how quick Don is. I was like, he'll feel it. He'll know my lack of preparation. I can't go, and I didn't go, and I was so happy I didn't go because I feel
that was a hard scene too.
And that
remember?
Was a hard
Everything
scene.
Was hard.
Yeah. And I feel like with comedy, I feel like with comedy you have to be so present because it's scripted, but the smallest detail, but I love them both.
Yeah. And you bring, and I think that's also what's great about your performance is you bring a little of each. You bring the comedy and the drama, you bring the drama and the comedy, and it keeps your work very alive because you can't anticipate where it's going. You can't, you just have to be watching and see what happens next. And I think that's really something that you do very well. I'm going to ask this next question, which why in this order, Regina?
I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't write them.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. You didn't. Who wrote these things? I'm not going to ask that in this order because that's silly. We're past that. We're past how sets and costumes make you feel, unless you want to talk about that.
Well, I can talk about it.
Do y'all want to hear how she thinks sets and but costumes? I'm interested in.
Costumes.
Not like sets or nothing. If there's any set designers in here, I don't mean
I'll
that.
use Black Monday again because
Yeah.
costumes are everything for me. Like
Yes.
feel like when I get in costume, it helps get in character. When I know what the character looks like and I can visualize it, I feel like being able to visualize the character it informs me. I don't know which happens first, but I always will say I start with the wig. Once I see the wig, including tonight's,
Great one. That's a wig?
it is.
Wow, it's amazing. Good job.
They're making them better and better.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm like looking at it under the light, trying to, where's that hair? That lace?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, the hair and the makeup, I think it's very important because it informs how you might walk or talk. And then I think once you find the character, that's the thing about improving real, for comedy or saying stuff. It's like it comes from the character, and then you're not like trying to say something, right?
Yeah, and you're not. And for you, I mean, some of the costumes that Dawn had.
Oh my God, I love Don's hair.
But
And makeup.
yeah.
And come on,
no,
Mo.
Mo would go there.
Mo had
too.
a different hair every every season.
What was one of the insults about the straight hair? You said you look like you're. There was just so many good insults.
Because you were in Florida and you had that what's his name from Earth, Wind and Fire? You had that.
Yeah, Verdine White. I had the Verdine White.
Oh, it was Ashford and Simpson.
Yeah,
you had the
guys.
Ashford hair.
And I just came in and it's the scene and you and Andrew and half of it, you guys were just making stuff up and I would just stand there as you would just.
It was so good, but but because it was period and it just, I don't know, it informs the world, which then informs the character, and then you just work from it's such a wonderful space because it's so real, it's visceral.
If you had to, could you think of the body of work and like pick one out and go like that one was a mountain to climb, and I feel like I climbed it. Like one of them that you would look at is going, and it can be whatever one and forever.
And why is it a mountain? Because it was tough for me, or because the conditions on the set were
It's your
tough?
mountain. It's your personal
it's
mountain.
My mountain.
Yeah.
It's my mountain.
Do you think there's a mountain that you got out there?
The porn I started.
Well, sure, that one. Did y'all see that one? It was also called Black Monday.
Yeah. It was. And my name was Monday.
Yeah. You can see why this set was a problem.
It was a problem.
That was a problem.
But it was a fun set. Everyone on the set was great.
I mean, I know you've had hard jobs and we've talked about them, and that's not. I'm like, what are the ones where you're like, I need to do that one.
Right.
And, because some of them, they come and they go and you're like, I can look back and I can feel whatever way about that, whether it came out and did well or not. But you're like, I needed to do that. Like, I needed to put that I needed to find that character and put that in there somewhere and bring that character along with me in my life and keep going. And
yeah, I'm trying to think of early, I don't know. Ironically, it's not that. There was something about Honk for Jesus specifically.
I was going to ask about that one. Yeah.
That had its own. I loved Honk for Jesus. I think I was probably like, how do I take a character that is the softer character to a husband that is so dominant and make her feel like the lead of the film, right? And I didn't know how to do that for a second, so I'm not that good at table reads because I shouldn't say I'm not good. I told you this, because for table reads I have to listen so much that it's hard for me to like
follow along and like
and be performative, because I just so I have to do the performance incredibly flat, because if I don't do it flat then I feel like I'm not engaged. I'm just trying to, not a table read like, for network or I'm just talking about a table read like the first time. So I remember I kept hearing Sterling, who's an amazing actor, and he already knew his character, and then I didn't, and I was like, well, gosh, who is? It's not that I didn't know her. I was like, who is? I couldn't. It's the balance ratio of the wife to the husband that's the quiet wife. But you, Miss Perry, my friend, look, my friends are here. What if these were all my friends? And I was like, Michael,
papered house.
Karen,
You just know everybody.
Uncle Joe, no, cousin
Y'all
Karen.
came. Oh my God.
Came. No, but specifically, I think figuring out how to do that was
In that movie, because there are a lot of switchbacks.
Yeah.
You know, I remember us talking
Yeah.
about it, and I was like, oh wait, I thought it was this, and then wait, oh, it's that, and like I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out how I'm
The
supposed to
tone,
take this. Yeah.
yeah,
And
'cause
it's so wild what's happening in it, you know.
it's so wild, and it's like you gotta, she's whatever, but it's kind of tragic what's happening for both of them, and so the tone of the movie and the way to figure out who Trinity was in that world, to be like, for you to realize this is her story, like figuring out the mode. When you have a husband who is so, and Sterling is that, he's so,
Like a live wire.
yeah, he's a live wire.
Yeah, you wrote it down. He's a live wire. Oh, okay. And this was kind of on that same nerve. It's like, how do you? And I guess we were just talking about you. That's kind of how you have to break it down. And those directors are interesting, right? Wasn't that the twins? Isn't it the
It
girls?
was well, yeah.
Yeah.
Adama is the producer, and Adama is the director, and Adane, they're twin sisters, and she's the producer.
And she's a producer.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah. And was that her first?
It was yes, it was her first. She
So
had
what do
only
you?
done a
How do you
short.
find working with? You've done it a bunch, probably.
Yeah.
First time directors,
Mm-hmm.
and how do you navigate that?
They were great. I mean, they were great. When I did Master, she was a first time Mariama. She was a first time director too. Malcolm was a first time director.
I'm saying you've done it
Gina
a
Principal-
bunch.
I
Yeah,
know. Yeah. And you direct.
I have.
You're a great director.
Thank you. I have fun.
Do you like it?
Not always, no. Yeah, it's really hard, and I've never directed anything I wasn't in. So that's also, I don't think that's always
I
necessarily
wanted you to
the
direct.
best. I could never direct a Black Monday. I could never direct an episode.
I know you never had time.
Never had the time.
Never had the time.
And on TV, like shows like that, you're always prepping and shooting and doing post all at the same time.
Yeah,
And if you do it well, and we shot those 5 days,
we did.
which is bananas.
It was crazy.
It's,
We'd have some
it
hours.
shouldn't be 5 days.
2.5, 3 days.
Oh,
No.
every day was forced. Every day was like, hey, so listen.
Especially for you.
Yeah, I was forced every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to do it. And you're a similar actor where, I would say you can go, I don't need you for the coverage. You're like, I'm not leaving. I'm going to do your coverage, and I think everybody on the set was very much like that. We all were willing to roll up our sleeves and like do whatever it took to get it done.
Yeah.
And then you get punished for doing it. And the next year they go, well, can you do it faster and with
'Cause you
less
get it
money?
done.
Because you've done it well. They're like, we'll do it again, but do
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it for cheaper. No good deed, right? And we didn't really ever have time to rehearse. Have you had an experience? I know with PTA, you guys probably did you guys get to rehearse?
Got a ton of rehearsal.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that something you prefer? Does it matter? Do you like it? Would you rather just see what happens spontaneously?
Well, his rehearsals are a lot of talking. So the great thing is it's not. I don't like a ton of rehearsal with comedy because I feel like you're going to rehearse and then it's going to be so worn. We could talk about it and talk about character. So Paul does a lot of talking about character and what he's going to do. And so it's, he has the luxury to do that. Not everybody has the luxury to do that. They don't have the time.
And this was something that you were talking about this a year and change ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, well, you worked with Paul in his very first studio film, Boogie Nights.
Yeah. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
I
Was he
mean,
like that then? Because I don't know the change from, you know what I mean?
Right.
Did you, was
It's
he?
his 10th movie with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
He so he was always very confident.
He's very confident.
Very confident.
Very confident.
Knows exactly what he wants.
Yes. Very clear.
Very clear, which I appreciate.
Loved it.
Yeah, you
Loved
like
it.
tell me where I'm at and tell me my parameters.
Right.
How much can I play? Where is it at? You know, and
Yeah.
he was very clear and very
He was what, 20?
he was a baby. Like I had just finished Devil, and Carl Franklin, who directed Devil in Blue Dress, was saying, "Hey, you got to meet this kid. This kid's gonna be one of the ones."
Right.
And I was like, "Well, I trust you implicitly." So he's like, "Go meet him. He wants to talk to you about this movie he's doing, Boogie Nights." I'm like, "What's it about?" It's like, "It's about the porno industry." I was like, "My parents are alive. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not doing no porno movie." He's like, "Go talk to him. Go talk to him." So we go to, I don't know, Ed DeBevick's or one of these delis, and he's just so cocksure and so positive. And the script was like 160 pages long and very technical. And I'd never written a script that was that technical, where he had camera moves and angles and very detailed descriptions of the way, you know, you would dolly through a scene. And it was kind of difficult to read. Because I was like, you've written this for your DP, or, you know, you've written for a production coordinator. I'm just trying to get the story. So it was breaking up. So I wasn't really sure. And his attitude.
Well, you affected him for the future, because now there's nothing in there for camera.
Like,
it just says chaos TBD. He must have heard you, and I said you don't write any you don't write any camera or action. He said actors don't want to read that. So now I know why.
Well, it was very hard to read, and he. And I said, you know, I said, why should I said, I'm trying to understand, like, why I need to do this movie. And he said, because if you don't, you're going to feel like an idiot. I was like, how old are you?
Like, he's probably 26.
He was 26, but he was right, and he knew what he was saying. And my experience of him on set was, again, that same thing, very, very secure, very assured, very steady what he wants, how he wants stuff. There's a scene where, speaking of Verdine White and hair, where Buck is sitting at the party with that white Earth, Wind, and Fire thing on and huge shoulders. And I'm just sitting there. And he goes, so in this shot, I want you sitting at the table. And I don't want you to do anything. I just don't want you to do anything. Just do nothing. I said, oh, okay. So he walks off. We shoot it. He comes back over. He goes, you were kind of doing nothing. I just want nothing. Just nothing.
He almost strips acting down to
I
nothing.
was like, nothing. So I'm sitting there trying to figure out, like, what are you talking about? And he comes over and goes, all right, we got it. So he shot while I was sitting there trying to figure out what he was saying. So he that was a good one. So he's
That's what he does.
Yeah.
Kinda,
So
it's
he knows.
I thought he might have been nervous or whatever, because I was like, this is big action, and I'm like, yes, and it was.
I've never seen him nervous. Not that he
No.
isn't, but I've never even with.
I was like, Paul, you excited? And he's like, His first day, he was like, I mean, he preps. It's like he comes alive.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, yeah. So he was. I mean, there were helicopters, and I was like, this is pretty big feat. I wonder, is he at all like, I'm doing a lot? But I never felt it. I never.
No, because he's so prepared.
I will say that.
He's so prepared, and
he
so
sees
clear-minded.
that film.
Yeah,
It's like he visually has the film here before he shoots it. So it's not, but he still leaves room for discovery too.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the
absolutely. Which is, I think, a
he
testament
shoots a lot
to
too, and
his
so you don't
security.
know.
So he
Yes,
knows. So he's like,
yes.
he's clear when it does that. He's like, nope, bring it over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was we had a very similar experience with him. And you're great in the movie in a way that
Thank
is
you.
quiet and centering and a great counterpoint, in my opinion, to the tumult and the noise and all the action and activity.
That was
It's
another
like
thing too. That it's hard in a film where you have to be quiet, where there's so many like
the grace note when it's all
when it's such bold performances, and it's like, that's bold, and they're like, and then you're like, this is your response to boldness. And you're like, but that's what he wants. But that is what he wants, and then you understand why it does need that. You know,
Yeah, you are
together,
that
it needs
you,
to
and
weigh up
you
what
are
he
the
wants.
one that has to be like to be in the cut.
Yeah.
You're literally in the cut.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what's so interesting. I'm gonna tell y'all something.
Oh, get ready because it
I
could
know.
be anything.
No, 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 no. So one of the films that helped me with that part was Colors.
Oh, Rocket. No, you're joking.
No, I'm
What
serious.
part? What? How?
Yours.
Rocket?
Yeah,
How? Why?
because your presence was really strong, but you were quiet, right? And I had to believe that you were the leader, believe that you were menacing without you
Doing much.
doing much to be menacing. And I think like you're great at doing that. That's so like I could watch that and be like totally, and there are a lot of performances, a lot going. What if I was like Colored and I had the name wrong?
That was my porn that I did. You should see it as a double head. Forget it. Stop. Moving on.
Moving on.
What you're
Okay,
saying.
back. And I think you did that, you know, and you have to kind of see like, you know, whatever you're doing, I don't know, do you all do I look at things to be like, what are performances that are able to do that and do it
Oh,
well?
absolutely. I steal all the time.
Yeah. So
Talent borrows, genius robs, right?
yeah.
And speaking of like these great directors, Paul being one of them, I saw something that he did. Oh, the pool scene in Boogie Nights when he goes down. That's like from Goodbye Brazil or
Yeah.
Farewell Brazil or something. Is right out of that. And I kind of said, "Oh, you're quoting that." He's like, "I stole that, quoting it."
Yeah.
That's mine.
He's
now.
also very good at like being like saw it and loved it, about to make it my own.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Which
So,
we should not be
we-
shy about ever doing.
Ever doing.
Ever doing.
Yeah. So I've done that.
Good.
You, Don.
Good. This clock says something, but I don't know what it means. Who can tell me what the clock
So
means?
Don can't tell time. I didn't want to say anything.
I don't
but
think
just
you're allowed to
coming up.
bully people over that anymore.
Sorry.
In
Right.
the new
Right.
in the new world order.
Don is timeless. He doesn't see time.
I just want to make sure that I get to y'all's questions.
Yes.
How? No, we already asked that. Some directors will shoot 1 or 2 takes of a shot, and others will shoot 30 to 40. Which do you prefer, and how does it affect your craft?
I've never had a director shoot that much. Have you? Who? Which? Oh, well, do you want to say? I've never had a
Noah
director.
Baumbach.
Mm.
It's a lot.
What is a lot?
30 takes.
30 takes. I've heard that David Fincher
40
shoots a
takes.
lot.
Yeah.
Did you feel like it helped?
No.
Right.
I mean, it helped him. I know that he was going for, again, very specific things and very very focused. He's and I don't know exactly what the vision is because
Right.
it's something that has to do with a totality of everything. It's the way the camera moves and the way the light is coming in and the shot has to, we would do takes and the camera would pan past me and I had a line and I would, if I flubbed it, and they'd be like, "Let's go back. I'm going to get the line I'm off camera for." And it's like, can we do a pickup? No, we're going back to the top.
So did you feel like that was? Do you feel like you learned? Like, is that
Some actors loved it. I mean, I think some actors,
they loved the?
they don't mind as many bites of the apple as you're going to give them, and can.
I mean, I do
always
like
think
when I
there's
can
something.
do something. If I'm like, that wasn't it. Like sometimes I'm like,
Yeah,
I
but
need to do it again.
But
yeah,
you
I've
could
never
get
wanted
burnt
to do it 30.
too, right?
If I ain't got it by 10, I'm like,
That's
you
what I'm
just
saying.
not
What are
gonna
we
get it.
doing?
Like I'm like, it's me.
Because
You're the
now
problem
we got to
today.
do 50. Because I got to
Yeah.
go through the every bad choice. Then I got to
Yeah,
go through.
yeah.
Now I'm just trying to do it because I know you're trying to do. Now I'm performing just for you. I mean, you
Right.
always are in a way.
Yeah,
Trying to
but
show the
yeah.
director is that what
But now
you
you're
meant?
in your head.
But
yeah.
now I'm in my head. So it's going to take now 30 before I'm like, fuck this shit. And then something amazing will happen.
That's true. Right
But I
at
got
the
to
fuck
get
it.
through a lot
Right.
of it. Yeah.
But I always seem to leave and think of something that I'm like, dang, I wish I'd have done that.
Well, is anybody here ever had that experience? I think that's it. That's
I think directors
truly
have
it.
it too. But it's like, and it's sometimes it's painful where I'll be like, that's it, or I'll be like, that's what the director was asking for, and it hurts. But And then I'm like, you have to let it go. It's the next day. You can't continue to hold on to.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about process and that and your mental health around what it is you're trying to do. I was in a store one time and this guy was making the salad, asked me a question about acting, and he said, "Oh, I've always
While
been-"
making the salad?
I watched him.
Okay. Well, no, I'm just.
He was not totally distracted, but I was watching him
Okay,
like,
okay.
bruh,
Okay.
I didn't say mushrooms. But he said, yeah, I would be afraid to act. I said, why? He said, because I feel like I would get lost. I feel like I could get trapped in a character and couldn't get out. And I was like, that's crazy. Why would you think that? And then I left and I was like, maybe I'm a terrible actor because. And then I was trying to think of all the instances, and my wife's here, Bridget's here, she's an actor, and there have been times, clap for Bridget. And there have been times I know when she's been like, "What's up with you?" When I've come back from doing something and
So you were trapped.
I didn't ever believe that was real.
Where were you trapped? Which one?
Not trapped. I wouldn't say trapped.
Well, almost
I'm
trapped.
saying I think that.
Like what role?
Well, your body doesn't know that if you're
Right.
yelling and screaming all day and breaking shit and having
Yeah.
a fight, it's like even you know you're acting,
Yeah.
but your lymphatic system doesn't know you're acting. Your stomach doesn't know you're acting. If you're doing it right and you're perspiring and you're short of breath, you're like your body's like,
And
oh,
my
we're stressed
lymphatic
out.
system is a little messed up right now. I think this might be it. Like you're onto something.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like if you can't put it in a container.
Yeah.
And really like a dojo go, and I'm out of the dojo, and that all stays there.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna go home.
Well, Bridget, what movie did he? What projects? Can you give? Did you do it with talk? Did you do it with talk to me?
We're in a dangerous. No.
Okay.
Because like when you're talking about the costume and the hair and all that
Right.
stuff.
It doesn't feel like you.
Yeah, I was looking at a person that wasn't me.
Right. That's true. That's what I
But
feel.
and it was a different energy.
Yes.
That was a gregarious sort of a up energy. Even when he's depressed, he was still like overcoming and fighting. I'm talking about when you're playing a violent person or when you're playing someone who's in
Right.
a real struggle all the time.
I don't know that I've ever. I was gonna say I don't know, but I do remember when I was preparing for Nine Perfect Strangers, I kept being like, who is Carmel? And I had only read the first 2 episodes, and then the last one, I was like, Carmel's out of her mind. And I was like, I have to rethink my approach to this because you can't
Just play crazy.
You can't play crazy.
No.
And it has to be believable enough that she would do it. So you can't play not crazy. So you have to play
You have to find the
askew,
circumstance. That's
a
what I'm saying. Yeah.
And I remember, this is crazy. I remember during that, I was quarantined. I had stabbed like 6 people. No, I'm joking. I was quarantined. It was
I'd gone on this crazy prep spree.
It was COVID. I was in the hotel. I was taking extra vitamins because just to make sure that the vitamins had a reaction. I had, that's crazy, but I had a huge hypersensitivity attack. I was red and rashed. I can't even describe from the neck down. The whole time I had been like, gosh, well, what is, it fed into an incredible insecurity. Whatever I had, I remember they were like, you can't be exposed to sun. We were shooting in the summer. It changed the wardrobe I had to wear. Oh, wow. And it changed the way I performed. But that thing, she was so unstable. And I do remember I had a lot of stuff, but I had never equated it to that.
Right?
This is like therapy.
I mean, I think it's real. You're
I
trying
just
to
told mine.
you're trying
What's
to
yours?
touch it. What?
What's yours?
I didn't say I was going to tell you mine. I didn't. It wasn't like
Bridget?
you show me yours. I show
No.
you mine. We'll talk about it later.
I'll find out.
But there have
and
been.
then I'll tweet it.
Yeah.
No. I'm not on Twitter. But
You're like that.
Okay.
You're like that.
Right,
but there
are
have been, I think, because I guess when you're doing it, you tell me, but it feels like when you're doing, because you're a truthful actor. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We would know if you weren't because we wouldn't be affected by your performances. So you're trying to find the place where Regina and whoever you are,
me, it's
you
true.
and you're bringing them and you're
True.
going, where is that meeting? And I think that, like I said, I'd never thought about it until he said it.
Right. I never thought about that.
But I'm sure
But
you
it
know,
makes
we
sense.
know people that have done that,
Absolutely.
got stuck,
Yeah.
and never really didn't come out of it.
No.
I mean, Tupac, for all intents and purposes, in my opinion, got stuck in Bishop. He was an actor first.
Yeah.
That's not who he was. He was us. He was in a performing arts school, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then he started playing that part, and he really took that on.
Took it on.
And was jumping into crowds in New York and fighting dudes that were on the set and stuff. And they were like, "Yo, what's up?" He's like, "I'm down for this." They're like, "Yeah, but like that, you know?" It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
think it can potentially be dangerous if you don't really take care and if you're not mindful of the
it's
journey
true.
that you're trying
It's
to
funny.
go on.
I've always thought about that with method, and I never thought about it with any, because I know method is a full immersion. They say Daniel Day-Lewis's method, right? And
And it might be. I mean, I think it may be something, but think you are too. I'm a proponent. Whatever works, right? However you get there.
whatever works, however you get there.
You know, however you get.
Mine is like literally doing it in real life, like if you're playing something like a murderer. I'm just saying mine is having to really do it. You know what I mean? I mean, like that's where the whatever it takes would end, I would say.
Yeah, we're gonna go into some of these. From whom did you learn the most about? We've already gone into that.
Yeah, we've gone.
Yeah,
Yes.
we know the answer to that.
Don.
Yeah. And another one that feels sort of related. What are the greatest lessons you've learned in your career? We don't have to go into that. We know the answer to that.
Well, I have an answer to that.
You didn't already cover it with the Rocket and the Mo and Black Monday.
I have another
to
version.
me.
Well, I was just gonna say a lesson, since they're actors, is that every journey is your own. I was gonna say, how when you used to worry. I used to think every job I didn't get, I was devastated. I'd be like,
Yes.
and then you're like, it's okay, and it's not.
Well, the thing,
Everything
once
has
I
its own
got on the
timing.
other side of the casting,
Yes.
realizing how much of it, and there's a lot of people that talk about it now, thankfully, and explain how it is for actors when we, like you said, come out of an audition and are devastated because they said no to you. You know, it's not like, do you want this cup I made? They're like, no, I don't like you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's me. So let me go. But that you don't know why they're trying to cast.
Right. It may have nothing. You kind
most
of
of the
take
time
it
it has
personal.
nothing to do with you.
Most of the time, and I've seen I've seen people come in and give incredible auditions, and like they leave the room and they're like, oh, they were great. It may not be for any small reason. It may not be the reason
She's
you get
too tall for him.
Right. It could totally be that.
Oh, she's blonde. We needed a brunette to stand next. It can be any of those things.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, some of the questions that I didn't want to go into with her about auditioning because you're 20, but I'm a dinosaur.
I'm 32.
And the auditioning, the crucible of auditioning that y'all have to get through is like, I was saying we should ask them about auditioning now because I think it's one of the most challenging things to do. And I've been a director sitting in a room with 100 tapes with the same 7 lines and going, how am I supposed to really pick from this? This is such an unfair crucible. And
do you all like self-tapes better?
Hell no.
Right, yeah.
Ain't no way.
I know. It also is different when why I like when people come in person more is because you get to see how they take an instruction and a direction, and that
absolutely,
and it's how it's where you learn too. And you're like, that's when you go home and you're like, dang, he told me to, and I did that. You learn, and then you get better for that feedback.
But also people like you, and when we would go in a room and there would be 7 people in the room, you're gonna win the room. Before we even get to words, I know you're the writer. I know, I can already pick up who you are. I know that I need to talk to you now. It's like, I'm going to win the room.
I remember one time I had this audition and it was an actress, beautiful actress. And she was like, and every actor uses something different. There's no good or bad. So there's no judgment. And she was like, it's tough because she used a sensuality that she had, right? And she walked with the sensuality. And That's not necessarily what I would lead with. And she was like, so the guys there, I mean, she moved century. You're going to look to the back. I mean, like, and I was like, look to the back. I'm squatting down. Like, she's like, you're going to look to the back and there's two there and two there. And needless to say, I didn't get the job. But she knew how to work a room. She knew how to work a room. And sometimes I used to sit in auditions and the only thing that would freak me out is to hear someone else's audition and it's like completely opposite of what you planned and you're like, damn, was mine good? Let me go. Should I do it that way? Is that what that line really means? And who knows? You have to trust what unless it informs you and you're like, but
You have an audition for what though? I mean,
yeah, I have an audition for a long time, but when I did audition, and there's hundreds of, however, I probably didn't get hundreds of auditions, but there's dozens and dozens and dozens of auditions that you don't get.
Most of them.
Yeah, most.
And I think
my teacher said we were professional auditioners.
Well, there you go. That's what I was about to say. I think when you take that mindset in that this is an opportunity to act, that's what that is. And if you get a job, that's the cherry on top of it. It's like, and so you also should be very protective of that time. And protective of your space and do whatever you want to do and make sure that you're doing something that is really you because that's what's going to distinguish you from the other 100 people on. It is an unfair sort of a litmus test, but that's what you have to do. And it's less about the ring light and about is this hung exactly right? It's more about like, am I making choices that are really connected to me that are the biggest swings I can take? I don't mean be a lunatic and chew the scenery and spit with everything, but I'm saying really under the protection of the character and justified by what this character is going for, make the strongest take you can make, be as elastic with this character as you can. Let directors and producers see
That's on the paper.
the breadth,
I wrote
right?
it.
But don't take it personally when they don't call because you're doing something that's really very, very, very hard to do.
Yeah, and taking that first moment when you're on camera. Don't wait until because they've got dozens to look through. The very first moment that you can make that's interesting and truthful and honest on that, like do it. Like you don't have to rush to the lines. You might. Your moment, I don't know what it could be, but like really owning it. I remember that was one thing I learned in auditioning. I used to go in and if I messed up, I was in my head. I used to be like, let me start over. And I used to be nervous to ask that, and then I was like, well, this is like my 4 minutes or 6 minutes. And it was great to finally be able to feel like you could own that.
And maybe there's a way, I know it's a very sort of formatted way, slate your name, say that you have to do it.
Glitter.
But when I look at tapes, huh?
I said glitter.
Yes, glitter for sure. Or topless like you did most of your auditions.
It does work.
But it works. But like that, I love when something that I don't expect happens. Again, this is like, it's not prescriptive because you can't plan to like, I'm going to be super avant-garde and unexpected. It still has to be under the protection of what it is that you're trying to do. But I wouldn't mind seeing somebody in a self-tape slate, boom, and walk back and really whatever they have to do and find their time to like do that and then connect and then go. I'm watching you. I'm like, what are they doing? Like one of the most amazing it was a tape. I did cast him off tape. I already knew I wanted him, but I cast Lakeith Stanfield off of a tape. And he was reading with somebody, and most of the time people, you just grab whoever you can to read with, but he was reading with somebody who was clearly an actor and a character. This guy was playing a character, and he was never on camera, but they had a scene. And I was like, well, I want you, but I also want to know who was that other dude?
Yeah.
He said, oh, that was me.
Wow.
I said, what? He's like, oh yeah, I just taped myself and played another character. And
wow. Yeah.
I was like, y'all got to try that because he knew his rhythm. He knew his cadence. He knew the story.
Yes.
So you know what I mean? It wasn't, nobody could do it better with him than him.
No, of course.
And he created an entirely different character, and it was so compelling, and it wasn't well lit, and it was kind of hard to see. It made me work for it a little bit.
Yeah, you got to work for it.
You know what I'm saying? All of that was like much
I love
more compelling than like I'm in front of a sheet of paper and I have the ring light and I can see the ring light in your eye and it's a perfect thing. And hi, I'm Jim. I'm 6'3". I know that's what they ask you to do, but if I don't know, that's a tricky one. And I'm not someone who could really say what to do, because I also know that another crucible you have to get through with the self-tapes is your agents. They don't always send your tape out, which I've also heard.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, y'all got to be on that, because it's like something that my friend told me I didn't know, and that his agent copped to that. Yeah, they decide.
And it's good. It's good for everyone to know that, because, it gives you a little more license over your own
autonomy on your
Mm-hmm.
We're in a very unprecedented moment, it feels like, in our industry, movies, TV, all of it right now. How do you feel like that you're planning for it? Like what's coming across the transom that's just coming to you? What are you out there like trying to push into existence from the producer side of it? Are there writers that you're looking at that you're connecting with and going, you need to develop something for me? Like, what are you trying to get going right now?
I mean, I always want to get many projects going. Some I'm in, some I'm not in. Just, some that are just really interesting stories to tell. I mean, I think that the interesting thing about producing is to be able to discover new talent. You know what I mean? Like, it's great to play with, to act as well, and, get some passive income. Y'all can go work. I can stay home. I want to be able to have shows on the air where there's like...
You have a production company?
I do. It's called RH Negative.
Oh, let's go.
You know what that's from?
Tell me.
Really? You know what? You'll know, right, Bridget? It's your rhesus factor. If you're positive, your blood type is positive or negative. So it's like if you're A positive. A lot of women know because they have to know that when they're pregnant.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Because if you're having a baby that's the opposite, I think you could kill it.
It's a very heavy name you've named your company.
No. Meaning that if your blood type is the opposite, right, the baby can't live.
Okay, so let's act like you're coming in to. We're going to give you an overall deal. And, hey, I own Paramount, and what's the name of your company? And tell me a little bit about it.
No, I know. Negative is rare. It's rare to be negative, to have a rhesus
I like
factor.
that.
So I am RH negative. I'm O negative, which is the universal donor. So I can actually give blood. Do you know your blood type?
I don't remember it. Do you?
O positive.
O positive.
So you're the second universal blood type.
Let's go.
O negative, yeah. Now I am also anemic, so I can't give any of it away, apparently.
So you're O negative for nothing.
Yeah. Yes.
You're good for nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm a negative O negative.
Great.
But
this does not sound like I think you got to look at this name for your company again.
Yeah. Well, I was going to change it, and my business manager said it's done. It's already been registered, so that's it. But
What was the name going to be?
It was always RH negative. I liked RH negative. No, at one time I thought it was cute. I was like, rated R. But then I was like, Regina, stop.
Regina, stop.
I know. It's like I had seen Plan B, and I was like, I like the play. I'm going to do rated R, but I don't know.
I'm going to go on the whole pregnancy thing.
Yeah, I know. I decided I was going to go the blood type way.
Yeah, I like that.
RH negative.
Have your goals changed? Like, did you have... Like 10 years ago, I want to do that. Like, did you have bucket list things, and have those goals changed? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like, no, there's still a character that I want to really crack? I want to do this. I don't know that I ever
think of it like that. I just, when something comes across that I'm interested, I have things that I really want. Like at the time, right before Black Monday, I think I had couple role offers, and it was great projects. They were great projects, but they were maybe like not what I was looking for. You know what I mean? I wanted a female
things you'd done before, or
it was like I just wanted a character that was strong and like had her own connection to the male character, but then her own connection outside, but her own reality outside of it. And I didn't see, so when Dawn came, and I was so excited because I was like, she had the potential to have her love story with Mo, but also be who she was in Dawn. And I had passed on a couple of things, and so that, and I was like, dang, am I passing? I'm just about to pass my way right to the unemployment line. And you wonder, is that role that you want gonna come? And then I want to say maybe a few months after, that's when I thought you were looking for Regina King. And I did get the call, and I was like, this was it. Like, that was it. So, but I wouldn't have said, oh, I want to play some, I wouldn't have known to say the role.
How
I
could
just
you
knew
know that was even out there possible for you?
Right. But the essence of a character is like what I like, the emotional. So I think of what the emotional journeys I want to take more than like, oh, I want to play this and that, you know?
And you're not scared to take a leap of faith on stuff.
Scared money don't make money.
Hey.
That's what they say. I mean, I am scared to do it, but I'm like, how can I not? You know, sometimes you're just like, I got to, and then you like, do you all ever get jobs and then cry after you get them? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Right. It's so fun to get a job and then so hard to do it.
I think getting the
like,
job,
damn,
hearing you
go
got the job is like the apex of the whole thing. It's like, you got it. You're like, yes. What time I show up for a costume fitting? Like, shit.
I know, because the work of the job.
Yeah, now
you're like, we're starting at 4 a.m.
And then you got to sell it.
How's
it been going on the whole, one battle after another run during? Is this a very busy time for you right now?
It's busy. It's a busy time because it has but it's a busy time, but we have a nice ensemble. So it's like we do it together, or, so it's not like, I mean, a lot of people don't want to see Leo, and they're like, where's Regina? We don't want to see Sean. We don't want to see Benicio. Where's Regina? And I just say, let them go. Let them shine. Like,
you're very generous.
Yeah. So, I mean, I give them a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah. That's sweet of you.
Yeah.
You're a giver.
Thank you.
And now, have you felt any uptick? Is there like a thing that you're going, now's the time I got to jump on this? I know there are moments where I have felt like, okay, this is a parlay, we got to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I certainly think in terms of producing, I'm like a little more like, I want to make sure that in the time you're in front of people that there's momentum, that you want to do it. But those things, producing takes a longer time than you think. It's a journey to get something to air, and you don't always get, there's a lot of compromises.
I've had production companies for 5 years, 10 years.
You haven't?
Yeah.
But your own shows.
But I'm on them as a producer, but I didn't generate the show. It wasn't something that came out of
right
a process. We've gotten things over the finish line. We've gotten things even sold.
It's hard to
get it on the air.
It's a very
different.
It's a very interesting thing, and hopefully there's a few that you'll get on. But it's what I would probably say doing that is something that is incredibly like, I want to do that.
And if you're not in it, in some ways you're hamstringing that job a little bit, because most of them, I used to think of it, they would go, oh, you're going to hang a vanity shingle, and it was just for you to make, for you to be in. And I was thinking the same way you were, like, no, I want to bring different people up.
Yeah.
I want to center some of these voices that are not heard from. I want to create this. But if you're not going to be in it, it makes it much harder to get it across the finish line. So you kind of have to develop the things for yourself. I got to start
sleeping with people, y'all.
That's what you heard I just said?
Back to that. And I thought I had left that behind, but on the road again.
On the road again?
Mm-hmm. That's what it sounds like. That's what I'm hearing.
So you got to take it, or you got to travel the whole show.
I do. East Coast, West Coast, Atlanta now. You know what I mean?
You got to hit Atlanta. If you ain't hitting Atlanta, you missing the best
and then
market.
There's New Orleans. Who's
it's you got to go to New Orleans.
I got the South. I mean, it's just, this might be grueling.
Okay.
But I'm going to get one on there, I promise.
I think we should go to some audience questions. This is getting dark. Sidahan Hurd? Shaban Hurd. Oh, that's a V. Okay. Hey, Shaban. Shaban, you got it.
With a V. Oh,
Siobhan,
okay.
Got it. Yeah. Right. Like Siobhan in the show that was just on. Great show. Succession.
Succession.
What do you consider your most cherished career accomplishment? Present company excluded.
Right.
If you can.
Yeah, right. How can I?
I don't know.
I
But
can't.
give it a shot.
Okay.
Siobhan wants to know.
Yeah. I'm going to lie and act like it's not done because it is done. Most accomplished? Oh, I love to support the girls.
You know what? I think that if you remember your question, you should ask it. And then you could give more
Did he ask
context
it wrong,
to
Siobhan?
it. And
Okay. Yes, he did. You don't have to lie, Siobhan. Just be honest. Come on, come with it, Siobhan. He done asked it wrong.
Career, I don't know, just makes your heart sing.
Um,
Happy when you look back, like I'm proud of it, you know?
to still be working. I mean, I
Yep.
know that sounds like a whatever thing. You know, to still be working, it's a blessing. Careers, you can be amazing and it can go any way. There's so many factors and variables and so really just to still be working and have like have worked. I mean, truly though, with people who I really admire. Present company included.
yeah, and it's going to be something that probably that question will be answered in a retrospect, right?
Yeah.
And looking back.
Yeah.
When you're like, I'm ready to, well, you know, if the business
I'm
doesn't
like
retire
50.
you. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I'll look back at that, like,
Yeah.
you know, when I'm much older,
Yeah, sure.
in a few decades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very impertinent question at
Yeah,
this stage,
it's
Siobhan.
so
How dare
early.
you?
So early. I'm so young. So young. I'll come back to that.
Yeah,
Siobhan.
you will answer that later. This is from Ayana. Hey. Ayana asks, what habits or choices have been most important for sustaining a long career in such an unpredictable industry?
Habits or choices? You know, sometimes you just get lucky. I mean, I think I've made being prepared. That is you know, I don't take one job for granted. I would never want, the industry is small and like words and reputations travel. I wouldn't want to come to work unprepared or, you know, like I would never want to have an opportunity to work with Don Cheadle and be like, I didn't know my lines and come to work. And that was different for me because television was a new muscle and like you're always learning. So it's like I was used to film. I was used to having my full script, knowing what it was. You go to TV, lines change. And you're in, and you know, observing. Like the habit of I'm always observing. I'm always learning. I'm always like open to direction, you know, and like, and making sure that I'm like, I know I need to grow. You know, I don't think you ever stop growing. Right?
I hope not. I hope not. I'm in class now, you know.
I'm in class
voice
now.
lessons now. I'm like working all the time.
Yeah, I think that's like that's what we do. Even if I'm watching a show, I watch and I look at choices and I'm like, that was great. That was interesting. You know what I mean? Wow. So I think I watch people on the street, you know. There's so many characters. I got so many pictures of bad hairstyles from Dateline. I'm like, I'm going to use that one. There was a lady on Family Feud. I never saw hair so bad. But I was like, she's somewhere. And I was like, and you know, there are different types of things. I like characters, right? So I like to be a character actor. And, you know, that doesn't mean you can't lead a film. It just means that maybe you aren't going to think in terms of like just ingenue. But so her hair, I don't know. I think she took her own hair. It was platinum. She had laid it down and flipped it right, but it was close. And then she took a curly, I think it was a curly piece and put it on top. I took a picture and I said, I don't know where she's going to fit, but I'm going to use that hairstyle.
She said, I'm going to be that on that show.
Yeah, she did. That's
a choice.
Yeah, and she brought it. She was like, I'm about to shut it down.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
So like the habit of always observing and like I take pictures if I see something I like or something interesting. If I see people, I watch it. If I hear a voice or way people talk, I'm just always probably kind of taking stuff in.
I know when I'm working on a character, there always seems to be like a painting
A painting.
or a
You're very artistic.
and a piece of music.
You're very musical.
I mean, I'm trying
He's
to
very
like
musical.
get like a bunch of different
Elements,
parts,
right? Parts.
yeah, and non-linear things that aren't like really cerebral and not like, you know, a one-to-one. I'm trying to pull something over here that somehow is going to make something happen over here that somehow translates.
Yeah,
and I don't
into
even
that.
know, and I don't know what it's going to be. I'll hear
Yeah.
a piece of music and go, "Oh, that one I'm supposed to be listening to."
That makes sense because you are so musically inclined.
But they're very close.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah,
beautiful
you-
voice. Regina has
yeah.
a beautiful voice.
Are you being funny?
No,
Oh, really?
you sing all the time.
I do.
On the set all the time.
I do
And you'll
sing
bring
all the
in these
time, but I
songs.
thought
She's
you-
like,
I thought it was
"Do you know
terrible."
this song?" I'm like, "No." And she'll start to sing, and I'm like, "No." She's like, "Oh, this song is from 1944, and it's about this girl. Listen to her. Can you hear the pain in her voice?" I'm like, "Who?"
I know. I would do that. But because you had that expression, I thought it was because my voice was terrible. And we had that real singer on. Remember? She could really
Yes,
sing.
she could.
And she had a beautiful voice. But yeah, it is. There is something that just kind of, it's almost like the character comes to inform you. You like, I don't know, it's almost like I talk
Yeah.
to the character and I'll be like, really help me try to find, and I'm always searching for the pieces, and then maybe one piece of something will be like,
Yeah,
That's
sometimes
it.
it's the way all you're gonna get is. But that's I think it's really a good habit to try to get material from all different kinds of things.
yeah.
And not in some
And
things
then
you
it's
don't know
fun,
why.
because
yeah.
when you discover it,
Yeah.
you feel like a light bulb comes on, and then you have fun. When I still don't know who she is, I feel like I'm in struggle.
Yeah, it's like walking through oatmeal. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. I mean,
That's how I experience
Yeah.
when you haven't yet figured out what you're doing. Andrea Thomas has written a novel. It's good. Here we go. Many of us used to lose sight of who we really are when we allow our careers or place in the industry to something who we are, validate who we are. But in order to combat that, what sort of things do you prioritize? Self-care, any activities, talked about that, outside of acting. And the second part, especially when you don't have anything going on, like how do you not, how does you not Ouroboros, which is the snake that's eating its own tail, how do you
Probably
not
over
do
there
that?
complaining about a man and my girlfriends. Same thing we all do. I think
That's your character work when you don't have a character to work on?
that's my life. It's just what I'm doing. It's what I'm doing in life.
Getting to know you.
You know what? That's when I use the time to just kind of look at people, look at things, relax, and just see what reading.
Reading's great. Do you guys write?
Great. Writing.
Okay, everybody should write. Everybody should write.
Everybody
That's really
should write.
important.
I have, you know what? My friends, I have friends here. My friends are funny, and it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm in a class. I don't know. I feel like we're always in a class. I can't describe it with each other about nothing.
Do you not feel, or do you feel, or what level do you feel, if any, of anxiety? Are you somebody who's like, it's not going to happen? Or do you sit around thinking if it's a month, has 2 months, 3 months, whatever's gone by, that you're like, damn, you call your agent like, yo, what's happening? Or you just like, let me just
I'm not. No,
be here
no,
and I
no,
know
no,
something
no.
will
I'm
happen.
just be here. I'll just be here, and I know something will happen. But, well, I mean, you go through moments where you like hope something happens. But there was one point that was longer, and my one of my best friends and I started writing together, and that was, and we laughed so much I forgot I wasn't working. We were just like, we didn't understand the difficulty of selling something and understanding it because we hadn't. But we wrote so much. I'm not even gonna lie, the shit was good, all of it. It was. I'm not saying it because we wrote it, but I am. But I'm not saying it because we wrote it. But even when I look back at it, it was funny. It may not have been formatted properly. It may not have had a place to live. We wrote Run called Bonnet's Brothel. You want to know what this is about? It was so good.
I definitely want to know what it's about.
It was a woman who needed money. Her was it her grandmother?
Is this your co-conspirator?
Yeah. Was it her grandmother?
No, don't hide now.
It was her grandmother.
Yes. Her grandmother had her grandmother had died and left her home, but and also debt. And she was at the time she was supposed to sponsor a family from Africa, but didn't have the money. So the African family, the whole show is calling like, when are you? We know you're coming. And then she goes, and her grandmother has a place in West Hollywood. And it's like a great thing, but she can't afford it. So the delivery, it's
she's
terrible
killing
as
herself.
I say it.
Go.
No, it's not because it's funny. It's terrible, but it's funny. The delivery guy comes over, and she has just seen something on television with Heidi Fleiss, and she's in the middle of West Hollywood. Her grandmother was also gay. She had gotten poisoned by a lube. She had an allergic reaction. She had an allergic reaction to a lubricant and had died suddenly. And so the guy who sold her the lube from the store comes over, and he's like, he's gay. And he's about to have to leave himself? And she comes up with an idea to start a gay brothel. And then her grandmother's friends would come by every day. So it was a senior citizen's home by day and a gay brothel by night.
And this didn't work? I can't understand who's not jumping up and down for that one. You know what? Don't give that one up yet. That one's going to make a comeback. You may have to work on the title. Moving on. Dan Cathcart. Oh, hey. What's up? Is it Dan? Okay, bet. What are some confirmations? Wonderful penmanship, by the way. It's amazing. Yeah, look at that.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. You're a doc. Well, yeah, you're not a doctor. You're definitely an artist. What are some confirmations you received that were on the right path, making the best decision for your career besides booking something?
Oh my gosh, I totally wasn't listening. Can you say that?
Sure.
I don't know what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to tell you what I was thinking about. I was thinking the question was for you, but I.
Oh. So, what are some confirmations that you received? You forgot what the hell was happening? You thought we were just like in
thinking about Barnett's brothel. I was really like,
I gotta get that off the mothballs. I gotta get that going
I
again.
gotta try that one more time. Okay, here we go.
What are some confirmations that you've received that were, on the right path? I try to make it like it's my question. Or on the right path, or making the best decisions for your career besides booking something?
Right, confirmations.
Yeah. You're saying what outside of work made you feel like, yeah, I'm doing this? Yeah. Signs, encouragement.
Or like even saying no to an agent or an audition.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, let's talk about some no's.
Some no's. You know what? Yeah, that's a big thing. What you say yes to and what you say no to when you're in the position to say yes or no, or sometimes when you're barely in the position.
I think that's a misnomer. I believe you're always in the position to say no.
Well, I believe that. I believe that depending on how much money.
Well,
because sometimes I was like, I gotta.
Listen.
Sounds like a yes to me.
I think that's
when
a negotiation.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take that job you just called me about. No, but I know what you mean. But I in the beginning,
you have to be careful.
Yes, there is a point where there's a point in your career, and it's not that far into it.
Right.
It's when you've had one sense of success, I would say, that you have to be cautious. You have to trust your gut to say, I probably shouldn't do this again. That could be because of typecasting. It could be because something in your gut is like, you could block something for something else. You might have to say a yes to a director that's basically asking you to be in a porn,
something you don't want to do.
Yeah,
and
well,
you're telling.
I'm talking about Paul.
Yeah,
you don't know who that is yet, but it's something in your gut that's like this. It is something you have to trust, and you do have to be like your no at a certain point. Your no is it's a powerful tool.
It's your superpower.
It's your superpower.
100%.
They like a no.
They love a no.
They love a no.
They think a no sometimes means work harder to get me.
That's like a guy, y'all. They like a no.
And also, you're telling the town, I think, I'm
Yeah.
a dinosaur. I don't know. It's very different now than when I started. But I think you're also communicating something about how you want to be perceived.
Yeah, yeah.
And who you are out there. And you can get.
And they think, and you have, and it sounds like you have options because you said no.
But I think and I just really, it was something I felt very early, and I heard of it. Like, I remember Andy Garcia talking about that very thing when he was just starting out, and it was asked to play some Cuban gangster or something that he didn't want to play, but
Yeah.
it was with it was a put production, and it was a director that had some note, and he was gonna, like, it was a part, and he was like, you haven't done anything, and I think he turned it down, and his agent said, who do you think you are to, like, turn down work like this? He said, who do I have to be to have integrity?
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, oh,
True.
yeah.
It is. It's your no, and especially when you've, I remember after Scary, I was like, I can't do any more broad. Brenda was specific, and it worked in Scary Movie, and she's like loud and little, whatever. But I was like, you can do that in that franchise, but you can't do that again.
Unless that's who you dog. Yeah, we'll get her. She's the big
Yes,
one who goes
yeah.
crazy.
So it just depends on how. Yeah. So when you want to have a career that's a little more, where you want to do a little more things, you're conscious of, like, not of how you're seen, and so you do have to be conscious and, like, really make the right decisions. And I always, my confirmation is when I feel good after the no. Like, I don't feel like, damn, I feel like,
yeah, it's not game. You really mean, like, yeah, no.
really mean it. Yeah.
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 Heather Harris. Hey.
Hi, Heather.
Hey, Heather. How did you survive the in-between seasons of your career, slow seasons, and maintenance maintenance? It's maintenance. We're going with maintenance. Maintenance. Advice. And what advice? Run together. It looks like maintenance. You can imagine right advice and maintenance. What advice would you give actors today, starting out, with the industry that's changing in this way? That's always a hard one, right? Like, how do you tell?
Well, and there are two things. I mean, there's a good part that you all have other means to get to things. It right? Wouldn't you say that? Because
I think so. Again, I never think I am an authority. Whenever anybody asks me, I start off with the disclaimer that I started in, this 40 years ago, really.
Yeah.
And that I haven't been auditioning since after Devil in a Blue Dress. I really haven't auditioned again.
Right.
And like we were talking about self-tapes versus being in a room, I don't know exactly how to win, and our daughter's, like, in it a little bit right now. And it's like, I don't know exactly how you win in that, like, being on this side of it and being a producer and a director and casting people. It's like, I know the challenge of that when you're at your lunch break at a Scout and you got to cast this person because the scene's tomorrow and this person fell out. That's a tough test. So
it's true, but
But what did you mean by the other ways? Like, you can, I know, look, everybody has this. You can make a movie.
Yeah.
You can.
But that's what I mean. You have access. You have and I don't know, because I'm not 100% sure of the tools, but I know that you can make videos, you can make tapes, you might have to create it in a different way. But there's you can still audition for incredible work, plays. You may not get it, but maybe I don't know. I say it because I don't necessarily know. When I was starting, you auditioned till you got a job. You did it in person. You got feedback. They taught you. But I know that if it's passion and purpose, that you can create it. You can write. There are classes. There's
Yeah, I feel like what you're. I mean, you're talking about working.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the answer is kind of like do
Were you asking about working? Did I mess
well,
it
like
up?
what do you do? She said in the
Oh.
between times, and how do you do
Oh, in
starting
my
out?
between times. You know, I mean, that's what I mean. You right. I mean, you create. You stay in your creative space.
That's
You know
it.
what I
That's
mean?
it.
And in that creative space, you're not waiting for someone to hire you, but you're staying in the creative energy. You can take an acting class. You can take a writing class. There's so many ways to be creative. You have friends, make movies. You have access to do really interesting stuff, but it's up to you to make sure, because no one's going to keep you in the spot of doing it. And you know what? There's so much discovery in doing it yourself anyway. Like I can't tell you how much fun we had writing. We laughed ourselves. Y'all, when Bonnet's brothel hits the air, y'all are going to be grateful for that downtime. But you create, and sometimes we're always focused on what's going to happen with it. But I think the creative energy brings something.
I agree with that 100%. I think it's like, because you don't have to get ready if you're staying ready, and you are constantly in that
Improv class,
learning and being available, so that when
Playground.
that thing comes,
Yes.
you don't have to rev up. You're like, oh, let's go. And I think there's also something that may be a little woo-woo and esoteric, but it's definitely been my experience that when you get after the thing that you are trying to accomplish, the world kind of leans into you,
I agree.
as opposed to you chasing the thing out
I
there.
agree.
So it's a dance, and you have to be able to do both of it, but you can't just be all about what can I get, and not be doing anything to put into the bank.
It's true.
Yeah, you
Because
gotta-
you are the bank, and
you're the vessel.
and you're the vessel.
Yeah.
You're the vessel, and you have to put life into that vessel.
Absolutely.
And life is not just waiting for an audition or auditioning. Or waiting in between. Life is living in between times. So you just do that and use that creative energy.
Yeah, 100%. Zarina. When was the exact moment that you knew you were funny? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When is the exact? I was trying to figure out what that last word. I was gonna say funny asphalt, because I wasn't sure. When was the exact moment that you found out you were funny as shit and that you could make a career from it? Thanks. That's her saying thanks. I don't. Thank you.
My family is funny. I don't know that I necessarily thought about it. I didn't go. I mean, people think I did study comedy, or I didn't. I just went to school. And so, this I can ask Don. So when I read a script that is a comedy, it has a different rhythm, right? And it's the rhythm that I can see in the script.
Music.
But the music.
That's called a callback.
That was, yes. That's what that was.
Yeah.
And this is called a strand. So, I don't know that I necessarily, but I just loved comedy. So maybe I didn't even think about it. I just got the audition for this movie, scary movie. I had been watching Live in Color, and I was so excited. And then I got the job, and I was like, ooh, I'm getting to do a comedy. I didn't even understand how different the industry looked at comedies and dramas, which it was great to do the comedies, but then people didn't want to see you for drama.
Right, yeah. They're like, you're saying you're that, so we're just going to do that.
Yeah, and they didn't do a lot of stuff. But in that, I don't know. My fan. It's like talking. It's like when I talked to Don. I didn't know Don was as funny. I did not know you were as funny until I actually had conversation with Don, because although you do both, it's like, you're so accoladed, for Hotel Rwanda. Your dramatic performances have been like, so you discover it in people, and in myself, I don't know. It wasn't
like, was that character on the page like that? Like, how much did you
apparently
add?
Not, because I didn't get it at first. And then, I think she was written. So she would know this story, but the first person who got that role was Tamala Jones. Tamala Jones was the Tamala Jones couldn't do it because she was doing a show called For You at that time, which I'm too young to remember. But she was on this show called For You. And I had gotten, so the part in the movie theater was seen was one part. It was Shorty's cousin who came to visit, and then Brenda was a whole other part, which was they merged them. So I had gotten the one part, which was like I was gonna work for 3 days. Tamla couldn't do it, and then they got Christina Milian, right? And she was supposed to play the part, and the studio didn't, for whatever reason, they didn't take it. They wrote that part to be, so I didn't interpret it that way. She was supposed to be prissy. So she was like, you know how in I can't think of the name of the movie. Alicia Silverstone. Yes. And Clueless, you know how they were prissy kind of? They had written her to be prissy. I did not see prissy at all. I just saw Brenda as crazy and loud. I was like, well, what? And so then the studio was like, we want her for Brenda. So I think 2 days before it started, I was in Georgia and they were like, they want you for run of picture, which I was like, it was my first job, run of picture. And I had missed the table read, I had missed the rehearsal, and I just had to show, maybe 3 days, because I had to get braids. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I was like, well, what do I do? And he was like, just do that, do that. So
Who directed it?
Keenan, Ivory Wayans.
Oh, Keenan, yeah.
And so what happens is sometimes you bring something to a character that they didn't even intend, you know? And like, I'm sure that's happened, you know, with you. Like they didn't see it that way. And then you come and you do something and then they were just like, oh, wait, that is it. So yeah, it wasn't written to be, but I can't even imagine, but my brain couldn't have imagined it.
Like, what were they intending? You're like, this has to be how it is. But that's great.
Yeah, but that was that. I don't know where my script is, but I wonder if I could read it, prissy. I don't think I could see it that way. I didn't see it that way. So it's just how you look and you interpret a character. That's another thing too. You could give a great audition and it's just been interpreted it differently, right?
Yeah. And again, feedback's not a part of this self-tape, right? Do you just do it like 2 or 3 different ways? Is that what you just try to do it? Yeah. And I saw somebody talking about it, a casting director that was talking about it on some Instagram clip. And anyway, her take was on it. Not that it's everybody's take, but I think her take on it was that when you could do it a zillion times. I mean, if you have the time. So that when you've picked the one to send in, that is really making a statement about, or the 3 or the 2, whatever. So make sure that you can stand behind those. Make sure you're not going to be like, why did I pick that one? Like, make sure that you're picking the 1s or 2 that, because again, all we can control is what's under our fingertips. And,
True.
you know, you just want to be like, feel good about like, no, I'm glad I made him send that one in. Because I'd rather lose the job on something that I picked than somebody else picked and then put their choice in.
I do think people can tell when you're like, and I'm not saying enjoy it in terms of it's a drama, you're supposed to be smiling. I'm just saying where you're like, you're so, you know.
In it, relish it, yeah.
Even when it was in person, sometimes I'd have the worst auditions. Those would be the ones I get. Then I'd have a great audition, and I'd be like, "What'd they say?" And they're like, "Haven't heard from them yet." And I'm like, "No one's called," because sometimes you'd get feedback, and sometimes you wouldn't get feedback, and you're not in the room. And sometimes you can be in an audition and tell that you aren't what they want. You know what I mean? And that just comes, you know what I mean? That's par for the course. I mean, where they...
Best of luck on all that, guys.
Yeah.
And commend y'all for out there. Like,
oh, yeah. Amazing.
Courtney, for the Regina. Yes. Do you feel like when you were working on set, there's lots of opportunity for collaboration with directors and writers?
I do. I mean... if you own it, if you have enough license to really, and you know what you're talking about, I feel like a lot of them are open to, depending on, you know, at which point you're owning the character. But I feel like a lot of them are open. I found that.
When have you felt the most like a prop, where it was like, oh, I'm just here to fulfill your thing, and you really don't want me to do anything but not bump into the furniture? Have you ever had that?
It was hard with you, Don.
Yeah.
I know that I felt that. It doesn't stand out to me. I don't know if I felt that for an entire project. I have felt like I have gotten direction that I haven't agreed with. And I'm like, I'm going to do it. And I know if I do it, you're going to use it. Yes. And it's not the one I want you to use. And maybe there's a fight that I will lose and I will just do it if it doesn't, But sometimes and I won't give them exactly what they want, but a modicum of what they're asking and what feels truthful. And so
I think it's good in those moments to just play dumb. Like you just can't.
Like you don't understand.
You
like
don't understand. And then you do it again. They're like, you kind of did the same thing that I want you to try this. You're like, oh,
but there's
man,
nothing worse than when I thought I was doing something different. Looked at the monitor and I was like, damn, that was the same thing. I'm like, have you ever done that?
So you look at the monitor.
I do not look at the monitor. The only time I look at the monitor is if like by time 3, I feel like you're giving me the same note, and I'm like,
you're like, oh yeah,
and I'm like, I think I'm doing something. Then I will look and be like, let me see what I'm doing. Otherwise, I don't look at the monitor.
Gets you self-conscious.
I don't want to be self-conscious.
Yeah.
A lot of I don't want to be worrying about if I'm looking attractive or making crazy faces. I can't. And then I don't want to be affected and be like, oh, my arm looked I want my arm down. Mm-hmm. So I don't look. Some people look. I don't think there's anything wrong, but I don't look. Do you look? You don't look.
I've done both. I've directed, like I said, when I'm directing myself,
well,
I've had to look. And when I'm producing something, I have to watch every damn thing, which I also don't like that much. But
you're looking for different reasons then.
I'm trying to, when I come on screen, I'm trying not to see it,
Yeah.
Because, you can really get in your own head. This is a neurotic making business. Is there any other questions that you guys have or kind of, oh, yeah, we got to get you. Wait, I'm sorry. Yes. Behind in the last row. Yes.
I'm a Bill Esper
That's right.
graduate. I feel like I should be able to ask a question. Seriously, though, your performance on the Oscars a few years ago was amazing. That was hilarious. And I don't feel like you got enough credit for that. Did you enjoy doing it?
I did. That first 2/3, man, we were flying. No, it's a very tough thing to do it. But I was really excited. It was bittersweet. You know what I mean? My mom used to always say, you should host the Oscars. I'd be like, Mommy, I want to just randomly host the Oscars. I couldn't understand. And then my mom passed away, and a year later I hosted the Oscars. So it was a bitter, and Don, of course, was so wonderful to me through that. I had to, we went back to work for Black Monday on the 3rd season. Although I am going to say, often on set, I would be very sad, and I would kind of be look in space. And my lovely cast would take pictures, and that circulates. That circulates on our group chain.
It's not
like this.
It's not as funny out loud. It's not really funny when you say it out loud.
I know.
But it did crush on the set.
It did crush.
Loved
It did. It was great. But those are the moments though where you go to work and it is like a lifeline. And so having Wanda, who I love, and Amy, was wonderful. So it had the challenging emotional thing because I wanted my mom to be there, but the joy of I think she went up there and did it. She was like, I said you're gonna host the Oscars. She ain't brought no husband.
Maybe he's up there waiting for you.
That was good. Oh, you see the love and the joy you get with your co-stars,
Oh, God. Right in front of her. You had a question, too. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you spoke to it a little bit with regards to Honky Jesus. Honk.
Honky Jesus, did you just say?
That's the
sequel. Honky Jesus. The sequel is Honky Jesus.
So I really wanted to know, like, how you found that character, and if, in particular, if you were a preacher's kid.
Was not a preacher's kid at all. But my grandmother went to Baptist church, and I went to churches. For me, I have to read a script over and over, and I have to hear it. And then something just snapped in. I have to be like, what is the intention of the story? What piece am I in this story? Like, who is Trinity? what are some people, what is it that resonates about this character versus that character? And then I just kind of listen, like listening to it, listening to people in rehearsal, other people, like hearing other people for me helps me like kind of hear what the story's supposed to be. So for Honk for Jesus, it was really good to hear. It was great because they didn't make me act at all. I could just do it flat and all those read throughs. I know they were like, I always call my agent. I say, is the contract signed?
Because I'm about to be terrible.
Yeah, I do. I say, because I'm about to be really, I'm about to be, I think support the girls. He was like, we want to rehearsal. And I said, if I go in rehearsal now, we're going to lose this now. You better make sure we close. And I postponed it until I was like, tell him I'm not available. And then I was like, you got to close it. And I closed it because I was like, I'm still working it out and I haven't figured it out. And at that point, you kind of hear it in your ear, you know what I mean? And I
You don't want to make
yet.
some choice and then be like, that's her.
Yeah, and then it's not. So I think for Honk, they were great. And, at a certain point, they'll just let you say, I think they're probably like, damn, I hope I'm not the first one. It just sounds bad from here. But they kind of give you the room to be honest and be like, I'm still finding it, I just say I just haven't, it's not dropped in yet enough for me to let you hear it.
That's a luxury that you get. Do you get the respect because it's you? Yes, you. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name is Cookie. Are you afraid of AI, both of you, or take over the industry and all of the Hollywood will vanish?
It's definitely a consideration. I think. Oh, we got so one more question, we'll wrap it up. But yeah, I think we're in a brave new world, no pun intended, and I think we are not really sure yet. No, I said a brave new world.
Oh.
But there's that singing voice we talked about. And then you can answer. I think it's definitely something that merits real consideration and not just in our industry, but everywhere. Our inability to tell the difference, and we're fighting against it. To fight against it in some ways doesn't. I think that it's a fait accompli. It's coming, so it's about how do you navigate it and how do you manage the thing. And it's tricky if you're like, for me, for you, people that are already established and known. I think they're going to have to deal with it a little differently with us. And, Tom Hanks has said that once he's gone, his estate, they get to use his image in perpetuity for however they want to use it. He's like, stick me in anything. I'm dead. I don't care. Use me however you want to use me. I trust you to take care of the legacy. But AI, put me in a thing, do whatever you want. So I think people are just trying to figure out what it means. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it'll happen faster than we think it'll happen. But I don't think it's... And I think it's going to be different kind of content. I think, it's like the question is, what's it going to be like when you can put yourself in a movie and go, I want to be in a movie and I want to play Brad Pitt's girlfriend and I want to drive the F1 cars and I want, Damon Idris to be right there next to me and make it. And it can make you in your movie in 15 minutes, It's like, that's coming. So I don't know if when that's happening, now, are we background? Are we all filler to that? And how does that
hopeful
look?
note, Don?
But look, if you just are, if you know it's happening, and you go, well, where is? I think that's what we have to be smart about doing, as opposed to wringing our hands.
I think y'all better revolt.
Yeah.
When them AI movies come out.
But we're talking. It's like, our kids will watch anything. They're cool with this. You know what I mean? They're cool.
No,
it's different.
It's true.
It's different.
It's true.
So you can't fight it. You have to figure out how to
how you navigate it. It's true. I don't quite know. There's so much. I don't know. It's foreign to me, because I'm not that good technologically. But it's definitely, there's a shift you hear with number one music, right? Music artists. I don't know. I mean, we could be blown up by then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're all gonna be dead by then. We don't have to worry about that.
But yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, I would just like
but it's
to
real.
say,
I mean, we're not unaware of it.
no, and it's an open question. I just had a big SAG meeting about an academy meeting about this very thing. So it's very present, and it's a very lightning rod issue that we're still trying to figure out what to do about it because it ain't going nowhere. I got the wrap up. You guys have been great. I wish I could ask everybody's question, but thank you guys for braving the weather. And please give it up to Regina Hall, the one and only, the inimicable.
And Don Cheadle. Thank you, Don, for being here.